Why did the Soviet Union collapse? The Soviet Union collapsed on its own, under the weight of its own stupidity. It was doomed from the start, having been originally created not as a normal state, but as a springboard for the forthcoming world revolution. Add to this the costs of running an empire, that is, the maintenance of equally unviable socialist countries, which the Soviet Union had spawned throughout the world, and it becomes clear that the collapse was inevitable. Simply put, the USSR went bankrupt, broke down, because its economic base was too small for its global ambitions. Vladimir Bukovsky's Elections Manifesto, 2007. All Gorbachev wanted was to improve Soviet economy by giving the people slightly more initiative and a broader participation in the task of building socialism. A steady decline of Soviet economy has finally brought the country to bankruptcy, making it impossible for the Soviet Union to maintain its superpower status, to maintain its empire, and to continue military competition with the West. He simply had no choice, but he also hoped that when the people have slightly more freedom, they, to paraphrase Mark Twain's famous saying, would have enough common sense not to use it. He hoped that fear generated by 70 years of repressions would prevent the people from demanding real democracy, and he was wrong. Vladimir Bukovsky speaking at the Intercollegiate Studies Institute, 1988. Socialism cannot be reformed. It cannot evolve into a democracy and a market economy, no matter how cautious the reformers and how gradual the reforms. It is the very principle upon which this system was built that must be changed, and for this reason the old political structures cannot withstand the pressure. Either they crack down or they break down. Vladimir Bukovsky's review of Mikhail Gorbachev's book The August Coup, The Truth and the Lessons, New Republic, January 1992. By August 1991, however, Gorbachev and his comrades were running out of tricks, and the people were running out of patience. The economic summit in London was a disaster for Gorbachev. No new credits were offered, all the usual scares notwithstanding. At home, the prospects of getting the republics to sign the new Union Treaty were slimmer every day, particularly as the Ukraine, the biggest and by far the most important republic, openly refused. Clearly, the bugaboo of a hardliners coup was losing its power to motivate. Stronger medicine, an even more credible warning of disaster, was necessary. In sum, the August coup was, in all probability, not a coup at all, but rather the introduction of martial law disguised as a coup. Gorbachev, of course, could not afford to be seen as its leader and preferred to stay in the shadow. Had it succeeded, he would certainly have re-emerged from his Crimean retreat as a force for moderation, with his power at least partially restored, and should this strangest coup in history have failed, as of course it did, he would appear to the world as a victim who must be saved from the clutches of the hardliners for another 6 years. Whatever the case, whether he encouraged the plot or not, Gorbachev could not possibly have been uninformed about the preparations for such a giant operation, particularly since many of his closest aides were involved. Vladimir Bukovsky's review of Mikhail Gorbachev's book The August Coup, The Truth and the Lessons, New Republic, January 1992.